Buddy, it's Alula. We got another video lined up for you guys today. And we're going to be talking about the Nuggets absolutely crushing the Lakers' hopes and dreams of making the finals. No team's ever come back from 3-0. Not going to start today. But really, I want to start out just by talking about the Nuggets. Damn, my lips are a little bit chapped, but it's all right. So the Nuggets have been slept on all year. If you follow any types of sports opinionist shows or you look on Twitter, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. People doubted Jokic, saying that he should not win back-to-back-to-back MVPs unless he's having a historical season, which I disagree with. I think we should look at each season individually. But, I think the people that were on TV and stuff kind of changed the narrative and pushed that Embiid MVP. And we all know how worthless that looks now because of how he disappeared in Game 7. It was a non-factor, but I don't want to talk about Embiid. Jokic, even though he was held to a relatively bad game in his standards for about 3 quarters. Fourth quarter last night in Game 3, absolutely took over. He had a crazy reverse and one layup. I mean, he was just doing everything right, making the right plays, getting the rebounds. Excuse me. I mean, he was a sensational. And this is, I feel like in my previous videos, I haven't talked about Jamal Murray a lot. Man, I'm a big Jamal Murray fan. I've been preaching. I've been telling people when I saw him in the bubble, I was like, this guy is a playoff player. Oh, it's the bubble. Doesn't matter. It's not the same pressure. All those people saying that look dumb now. Am I right? Like, Jamal Murray is absolutely hooping. 30 points in the first half. Didn't have no points in the third quarter, but he had a couple buckets in the fourth to send the Lakers packing. I think it was a great team effort. Michael Porter looked good. They just looked locked in. That's why they were up early. The Lakers cut it up about 5 at the end of that first half. And the Nuggets, had a battle with the Lakers. So sometimes Lakers cut it at the end of that third quarter. Fourth quarter was tied. Lakers were up 1 going, into the middle of that quarter. And, the Nuggets just absolutely dominated from that point on, outscored them by about 10, 12 points, and that was game. But, let's talk about the Lakers for a minute as well. Disappointed? LeBron is in year 20, 38 years old. He's obviously not the same guy. He just can't do it. His team is good. Everyone's been saying this might be the best team LeBron's ever had with all these role players. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but they do have a lot of guys that can score. Hachimura and Reeves were good again last night. AD wasn't good enough probably. Even LeBron, I'm sure he would tell you himself he wasn't good enough. I just don't think the Lakers have enough offensively to keep up with the Nuggets when the Nuggets go on those little spurts when they're hitting a couple threes in a row and Jokic is dominating the post and the rebounds. I just don't think the Lakers are. I just don't think they're tight-knit enough for that. You know what I mean? It's a relatively new team. You got to remember a lot of those pieces that are playing big minutes are kind of new to the team. You know what I mean? So, they just started hooping in February, March. So, right now, it looks pretty dire. The Lakers are probably done. I just think it's vindication for us Nuggets believers. It's like, finally, we told y'all that Jokic is that good. He affects a game that much. This is why, and like I said in the last video, this is why you have to look at those last 2 years that he had without his guys in the playoffs, without his number 2, number 3, and put some context around it, which everybody refuses to do. I don't know why. It's ridiculous. But, that's happening the way it is. The Nuggets are going to win this series. I mean, God forbid. I mean, if the Lakers come back down 3-0, and the Michael Jordan fans just basically have to leave. You can't even say nothing. If they come back down 3-0, which they won't, I'm just saying hypothetically if they did, man, that'd be amazing. All right, let's move on. Celtics Heat. Ugh. I was disappointed in the Celtics in Game 1. Game 2, they just, oh my gosh, like, what are they doing? What is Missoula's issue? What is Tatum, what, why in the fourth quarter he gets this mindset that he can't do what he's been doing? I don't know. I don't want to act like I know exactly what's going through his head, but Jason Tatum's struggling bad, and Grant Williams. Everyone's saying, well, Grant Williams shouldn't have poked the bear. Yeah, you're right. He definitely should not have started barking with Jimmy. You think he would have learned from Drew Holiday. And again, it comes up. Jimmy Butler's down 6, down 7, talking. He's talking mess. He's talking shit. Down 7. He does not care, right? And then he comes back. He does this multiple times. Don't the Heat are like, I forget the number, but they have like a above 500 record when they're trailing by 10 in these playoffs. That's unheard of. That's so rare. And I really do think that the Heat, like I said in my last video about the Heat, they're just doing everything well. They play so hard for Spoelstra. They just got different guys making big plays each game. It was Caleb Martin this time. He had 25 points. I mean, Jimmy Butler had like 3-4 ISO buckets mid-range or little push shots in that fourth quarter. It's like, man, if you're a Celtics fan, you're watching like, this guy can get whatever he wants, and we cannot do a damn thing to stop him. We have nothing. We have no answers, and our guys are going to chuck up some, in my opinion, some half-ass shot that they really shouldn't be chucking up, or do some nonsense with their dribbling, turn it over. I mean, it was just disappointing again. With that being said, Game 3 is tipping off in about 20 minutes from now. I got to be honest, I do not have a read for this game at all. The Celtics are so talented that in their 4.5 point favorite on the road, which is insane. That's so many points for a road team. That's down 2-0. But I do not have a read for this game. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if the Celtics are going to come out with their hair on fire and just absolutely bring it to them like they did against the Sixers in Game 3. They were up like 10 most of that game. Or even the Sixers in Game 6 when they were up for a good amount of that game. The Sixers, they were up like 16 in the second quarter. The Sixers cut it down. They ended up tying it, taking a lead in the late third, early fourth. Celtics kind of they hung in there in the fourth quarter, and then Tatum hit all those big threes. The Sixers are more talented than the Heat. The Bucks are more talented than the Heat. The Celtics are more talented than the Heat. The Knicks, you can argue, more talented than the Heat. But the Heat, I got to say, I guess Jimmy Butler's been the best player on the floor each of those series, and it hasn't been close. Even with Giannis, who a lot of people say is the best player in the NBA, he was obviously affected by his injury, I'm sure. But Jimmy, I mean, 56. I think he had 40-something. Another game in that series, 30. He averaged like 38 in that series. I mean, against us, he was just methodical, great defending. And now against the Celtics, it's like he's in their head. It's bad, man. It's kind of sad. Like, so whatever the Celtics got to do to limit him. I don't know if they got to throw double teams, but he's so quick with the passes. And when he gets it into Bam, look, I'm not comparing Bam to Jokic, but Bam is a very good passer. He had like 10 assists the other night in Game 2. At least 10 assists. So, I don't know. It's at Miami. I think Miami might come out strong. Maybe the Celtics weather the storm. If I had to guess, I'm going to ride with the Celtics pulling it out. Not really even pulling it out. I think they might win about like 10, 12, get a big win. But Miami, let me check. They have not lost a game at home. I don't even have to check because they beat the Bucks twice at Miami. They beat us Game 3, Game 4, and Game 6. And when I say us, I mean the Knicks. I'm a Knicks fan, in case y'all forgot. It's pretty sad over here. But, man, so it's hard to say that the Celtics are going to come get a win. But, man, both teams in both series, and I know the Nuggets-Lakers series is unrelated to this Heat-Celtics series, but for both teams to be down 3-0, it's a toss-up, man. I really can't decide. I can't wait to watch the game tonight. And yeah, I mean, if you guys have any recommendations, comments, questions, leave it in the comments below. I love to get back and argue with people or just talk and discuss. So let me know, man. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your week. Or it's Sunday, so hope you had a good rest of your week. Have a good next week.